Hey guys, welcome back to Fanholes Podcast. And today we're going to be just talking about some current comic book stuff, just kind of what the fanholes have been reading lately. Some of us have been reading a lot of different comics and everything, and we've been kind of itching to get a bunch of stuff off our chest. So this might not be something that we're all prepared for. You know, not all of us have been reading the same thing as everybody else, but we'll just go ahead and sort of roll with the punches and ask questions as they come, and we'll just go ahead and get right down into it. And so basically we're just going to be talking about some current comics and stuff like that. But yeah, I guess I know Justin's got a bunch of stuff he wants to talk about. So I'll let Justin start us off with some series that he's been reading lately and what he wants to get into.
Alrighty. First, I'll just start out with the bad news, and I have two little bad pieces of news. First one is Matt Fraction's Defenders is being canceled. Issue 12 will be the last issue. And also, Brubaker is leaving Winter Soldier, which is a really great book. Apparently, Brubaker is leaving Winter Soldier. I'm not sure what issue he's going to be leaving, but you know, he's wrapping up his run on Captain America, which is probably for the best. I mean, as far as like my opinion, like his Captain America hasn't been so good since the end of the Bucky Cap Gulag story arc. Like, that was a really good story, and then it's like, you know, Steve comes back as Captain America full time, and I mean, it's still a fun book with Brew writing Captain America, but it's just not the same. So like, him leaving Captain America doesn't bother me so much, but you know, he's put a lot of like work and time into like, you know, Bucky, like bringing him back from the dead, making him Captain America, killing him, bringing him back, making him Winter Soldier again. So, like, I kind of wonder if the book's going to survive once he's gone, because they said the book will continue. Like, I'm not sure who's going to take over, but you know, I kind of see this going the same way that the Kazar Mark Waid series went.
Right.
It's like
right,
after Mark Waid left, like I think Christopher Priest took over, and then it was canceled like in 4 issues. So,
well, as long as Christopher Priest doesn't take over Winter Soldier, you should be okay, right?
Well, I think they gotta at least keep Winter Soldier alive until Captain America 2 comes out, or at least or on the flip side, they'll cancel it now and then have a new Winter Soldier #1 when that movie comes out. So
of course,
it'll
be the Marvel Now version or whatever.
It's like, okay, well, we can either, you know, keep this book running until the 20s where it's inaccessible to new readers, or we can can it as soon as possible and have a new #1 when the movie comes out in 2014.
That's brilliant. Greenlight it. Do it.
Yeah, like Matt Fraction is kind of hit or miss with me. It just kind of depends on what he's writing. Like, as soon as he took over Thor from Straczynski, like, I gave him 3 issues and dropped it because it just shifted so much, and it became like, you know, a nice Thor book, and then it became like Siege heavy because that's when Siege was going on, and I'm just like, I don't want to read about Siege or all this other crap, so I dropped it. But you know, some of his other books are good. But yeah, I really enjoyed his Defenders. Like, I thought it was a really fresh take on the group, and you know, I like Red She-Hulk. You know, that's one of those characters that's like Red Hulk that, you know, Jeb Loeb created, and I'm just like, Red Hulk, Red She-Hulk. But those two characters have been, you know, pretty much redeemed for me, like especially Red Hulk with Jeff Parker's book. But yeah, Defenders was a great book. They've had some really fun stories, especially like one of the latest issues where they went back in time to the 60s, and you had like, you know, Nick Fury kind of in his prime, you know, doing S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff with like, you know, crazy Hitler clone Frankenstein things and stuff like that. And Red She-Hulk kind of like took a disguise as like a Playboy bunny, like serving drinks, kind of like the old, you know, Playboy Bunny Club in the 60s. Like, that was a lot of fun. I guess the you know, the reason Marvel is giving is since Fraction is taking over Fantastic Four and the Future Foundation books, he feels he has like too heavy a workload, so they're just ending Defenders, which is sad. Like, I think, you know, they could put somebody else on the book. Like, they just canceled New Mutants with Abnett and Lanning, so why not just give Abnett and Lanning Defenders, you know, if they want it. You know, that seems like a good place, because, you know, Bendis is sadly taking over Guardians of the Galaxy, so it's like, you know, Bendis is going to ruin their toys. Like, maybe they can play with somebody else's toys or something.
Is he literally, like, you just mean, like, the Avengers Assembled stuff, or is he literally writing a Guardians book?
No, there is going to be a new Guardians book. Like, as far as I understand it, like, it's, you know, it's coming. It's somewhere down the road, and I can't remember who the artist was, but they've announced it. It's part of, like, the, you know, the Marvel Now, you know, relaunch, I guess.
Okay. So he's writing, like, the original X-Men and Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah. Like, I assume it'll be the same characters as from the
Avengers Assembled.
Yeah, the Avengers Assembled book, which I've read like the first 5 or 6 issues of that, and it's not terrible. I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's been just, you know, Avengers stuff. Like, I didn't read it and immediately like want to, like, you know, rip the comic up and like eat it or anything, but
right.
It was, you know, it was serviceable, but, you know, I just kind of like wonder like how he's going to do with Guardians. Like, you know, they're all just going to be sitting around somewhere just having really terrible conversations because Bendis can't write dialogue at all, or, you know, whatnot.
I actually wanted to ask you, Justin. I've been kind of wanting some Scott Lang follow up. Like, what's he been doing? Like, I know he's been in that book, hasn't he?
Not yet. Like, the last issue ended with they were in the 60s, and it ended with them being shrank down to like Ant-Man size, like ant size. And it's the next issue that they'll actually meet.
Okay. Yeah, it's like the last time I read him was in Children's Crusade, so I was kind of like wondering what he's doing. And like I said, it's my theory that they're pushing him because, I think he's going to be like the star of the movie probably, so.
Yeah. Yeah, like I kind of expect they'll give him a push, you know, kind of like they gave Rocket Raccoon a push with, like, you know, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 appearance in Avengers, Earth Mightiest Heroes, a toy, you know, stuff like that. Like, I expect some sort of Ant-Man push. Like, there's already been like a...
We'll get to play Scott Lang in the new Marvel MMO or something like that.
That would be cool. Like, yeah.
Well, I guess he's going to be on one of the in the Future Foundation book too. So I guess Fraction is still like keeping his hands on him at least. So
yeah.
I know this is kind of a side thing, but I know there's been a lot of talk about the Fraction FF, you know, how they're kind of changing the whole direction of it with the Marvel Now. Mm-hmm. Is that something you guys are interested in because you're fans of Scott Lang? Are you kind of like in that camp where they look at the Mike Allred art and they go, oh my God, what's that? Or, you know, like what kind of, you know, I mean, to me, I like Mike Allred, so the art doesn't really bother me that much. I just kind of go, oh, cool, you know, but, you know, I know some people are kind of like, oh, that's not the Fantastic Four, or what's up with this girl in the thing suit?
That was the thing that made me kind of hesitate. It was like when I heard it, was like, it's Thing Girl, and she's like, you know, what did they say? Like Lindsay Lohan if she was a superhero, and I'm like, oh, that sounds awful. Like, but
yeah. Yeah, I know, like, Mike, and I think Sue mentioned this on his podcast. He's like, what is this girl, like, she's got, like, the Thing's body in a girl's head, but, like, me, like, I remember reading, like, old Fantastic Four books when Ben Grimm was a normal guy, and he had to wear, like, a mechanical thing suit, so that's what I associated it with.
Yeah. So, like the whole Walt Simonson type run, where he was a normal dude, and he was running around in his Thing armor and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like, as far as the direction of the new FF, like, I think it'll be pretty good. Like I like the artwork, and you know, Scott Lang. I mean, he worked with the Fantastic Four, so he has history. You know, same with She-Hulk, and Medusa was, I think, didn't Medusa replace like Sue at some point in the early 70s?
Yeah.
As far as like Thing Girl, like I don't know, I'll give her a chance. Like I think it would have been interesting if they had brought back, you know, the previous, you know, She-Thing. Like, that's a character that's kind of faded into obscurity. Like, I'm kind of like, well, why make a new She-Thing?
Sharon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The second Miss Marvel.
She was in, I think the Secret Invasion Initiative tie-in. Like, she was, like, one of the people replaced by a Skrull, but then it showed, like, her, like, back to normal, like, later on. Well, I guess I'll continue the cancellation lamentation that Justin started, and, you know...
It's the Jean Grey Award.
Yeah, exactly. I am displeased to report that Avengers Academy will be canceled as of issue 39. Yeah, it's issue, I think, 37 is being released this coming week as we record this, so it's only got a few left, but...
Well, it kind of felt that way with those covers. Like, it felt like the whole, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but how they had, like, Justice League breakdowns when they were going to kind of split up the team and reinvent it. Even though that series did get canceled, they just sort of, rebooted it afterwards. But it just felt like, with all those kind of, final class issues or whatever those were.
Well, it's funny because, like, in the letters pages, it seems like, people were like, hey, this storyline coming up, it's called Final Exam. The book's not getting canceled, is it? And, like, all the, like, responses are like, no, it's not. And, and then they're like, fooled you!
Yeah.
But, at least those covers for the Final Exam are friggin' awesome. Like, I love the covers they've shown for that story.
Like, is this book getting canceled? No, it's not. Psych, motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly.
Canceled.
But, I've really liked this series from issue 1, and I'm really sad to see it go. And I really hope, like, these characters, like, don't get put by the wayside. Too late! Like, it seems like, I don't know, like, at least with X-Men, when you cancel, like, these young X-Men or New Mutants books, like, at least right now, like, they're all on one island or whatever. Like, they're all on Utopia. So it's like, at least you can say, well, these characters will be around. But it seems like with Avengers, it's like, where did all these characters go? Like, even, like, say, like, the young Avengers, like, after Children's Crusade, like, they all vanished, basically. And it's like, girl Hawkeye is going to be in Hawkeye, but that's about it. It's like, where is everyone else gone, Yeah.
It's a similar case to what Justin was talking about with the Winter Soldier, that Brubaker kind of, not that he created Bucky or anything, but, the fermentation of that character and his history over the last, 4 or 5 years is basically Brubaker's baby. And it's like, obviously, like, Young Avengers is, what's-his-face from the OC's, baby and everything that they write that book. So it's like, maybe it's just a matter of people not handling those characters with the same kid gloves that some of those characters would be handled with. So you're kind of like, oh, well, I hope, Christos Gage gets to write those characters again. It's like if Christos Gage was writing an ongoing Avengers book and then 1 or 2 of those characters showed up kind of like Firestar and Justice, then maybe I'd be like, oh, that'd be pretty sweet. But otherwise, sometimes maybe it's for the best that they're in limbo, because otherwise then they get hooked up with the loners, and then screwy shit starts to go down,
Someone on the Twitters asked Hickman if any of the kids from Avengers Academy would be showing up in, like, New Avengers, because apparently Hickman says New Avengers is going to be, it's going to be different from, main Avengers, but, it's like according to him, it's like when you read it, it'll make sense to you. So someone asked him, like, are those kids going to that book? And his response was no. So people are kind of wondering, like, what's going to happen to, like, Metal and Hazmat and all these other guys.
Yeah, it's too bad. Well, at least it looks like they're gonna go. It's gonna be like a nice conclusion. Like, so I'm really enjoying, like, this Final Exam storyline so far, and it's a lot of, like, conclusive stuff has been happening, and what do you call it seems like X-23's on the team, but now she's like, well, that's okay, I'm an X-Man, I've got a place to go, you guys don't, it's like, where, like, X-23 is going to pop up somewhere again, but these other...
I'm just confused with all the multimedia push for White Tiger, where Dios Mios, where is she going to go? Like, where is she going to go after this? Like, or is she going to go anywhere? It's weird that they try to make a big push for her, at least on the Ultimate Spider-Man TV show, but now she's got no... Well, I guess as of that cancellation, she will have no ongoing title unless she, like we're trying to speculate, like, will these characters end up anywhere, as a member of the Avengers or something like that.
Hey, maybe she'll become like Spider-Man's new roommate or something,
Sweet, because I've never seen that before.
It'll be like what's that like canceled sitcom? He's like, I've got an underage roommate or something or whatever. And Peter Parker's like, oh, the old Parker luck, you know.
White Tiger can join Silver Claw somewhere in limbo for a while.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, that's kind of harsh, Justin.
Just say it.
At the very least, like White Tiger is a legacy hero or whatever. I mean,
he's a legacy hero for no real reason though, because like there was a White Tiger that died, but then there was another White Tiger in Daredevil that's not the same as the White Tiger that's in Avengers Academy and exploding.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, isn't there there's two other White Tigers, isn't there?
Yeah, because like, well, Hector's the original dude, right? And he was in Peter Parker, but then the one in Daredevil, I don't know, her name starts with
What about Casper Cole? Wasn't he?
Yeah, and then I guess he counts too, yeah. So like, and he's not even like a member of their family or whatever, but the other two girls were a member of the family, like, so. I think one was supposed to be like his sister, and then the one in Academy is supposed to be like his niece. So it's like, geez.
I'll take back my limbo comment. She can join the Rangers and hang out with those guys.
That's fine. Yeah, she can hang out with Firebird and Living Lightning. Yeah, they're cool. and Texas Twister, he's cool.
I like him.
Yeah, he's funny. Well, I did like their appearance in Scarlet Spider this past month, where, like, Scarlet Spider's like, oh, these guys are lame-o. It's, like, basically, like... Well, speaking of, I mentioned it, but, yeah, Hawkeye #1 has come out recently, and I enjoyed it. I mean, it kind of seems a little like back in maybe 2003, like Fabian Nizina had a Hawkeye ongoing series where he was mostly in plain clothes for most of the time, and he went out and solved sort of small town problems. And I'm kind of like, I'm looking at this series and I'm kind of like, this seems just like that, except it's Matt Fraction now writing it, but. We'll see.
Well, he seems to be one of the new golden boys at Marvel.
Yeah,
so
exactly. I was like,
that's the way it goes.
Yeah, I was kind of like, well, this idea didn't seem to work 10 years ago, but we'll see what happens this time, But, I liked it, though. Basically, Clint was pretty much in character, and now he has, a dog sidekick. So, I think anyone who likes dogs is okay by me, basically. So, That was a pretty funny, he finds out, the dog's name is Arrow, and he's like, oh, we gotta change that. And I'm like, no, don't change it, that's awesome. He needs Arrow Dog at his side.
And an Arrow Car and an Arrow Cave.
Yeah, exactly.
And Black Canary.
But,
Mockingbird.
Yeah, Mockingbird. Wait. I don't know.
I hope Spider-Woman's isn't going to show up in this ongoing.
Actually, I was going to say, Fraction mentioned that around issue 6 or so, it's he said it says Clinton is going to have to team up with both Spider-Woman and Mockingbird at the same time or something. So that sounds like it could be fun.
Yeah, we can deal with that.
Yeah, but
I thought it was pretty good. I don't know. I'm still don't like all this Ultimate Marvel Comics stuff bleeding into 616, Nick Fury Jr. And I hate Hawkeye's Ultimate esque costume. And in this #1 issue, he felt kind of like Bullseye, but I guess that's another that's another Ultimate thing bleeding through. I don't know. I haven't read.
Yeah, Fraction said he's going to kind of fold in he can weaponize things he picks up, thing from Ultimates, but I was kind of like, well, whatever.
What he should fold in is the swordsman, because he trained Hawkeye.
Yeah, definitely. What do you call, in Jim McCann's, Hawkeye and Mockingbird series and stuff, he tried to, well, he kind of, pointed out, when people were why did you dress up as a ninja? And, he was kind of well, duh, I can use swords, the swordsman trained me, duh, hello. But, that was kind of a neat, little, sort of connection, but, Yeah. I would not say no to like more explanation. Here's something I wanted to ask you actually, Justin. Is the swordsman still alive after Chaos War?
I don't know. Like apparently, Swordsman and Yellow Jacket did retain like their physical bodies after the end of Chaos War, but I guess they haven't been used since then for some reason. I don't know. Like I've like tried to look into this on the interwebs and stuff, but like as far as I know, they're just alive out there floating around, and no one's used them for some reason. So like maybe the Swordsman, the first one, should show up. Like that would be fine with me, but it's just one of those weird like continuity things. It's like no one seems to know the real answer to.
Yeah. And you've got like, Clint's brother running around in Dark Avengers right now, so I wouldn't mind like a rematch between the two of them either, but
yep.
It's like...
go ahead.
I was going to say the original Trick Shot is dead now, so like, what do you call, and Clint's brother is like the new Trick Shot, so like, and yeah, Swordsman is like Clint's only living mentor now, so...
What happened to the second Ronin, the one from that other Hawkeye miniseries?
Oh, that was actually, what's-her-face? Black Widow's ex-husband?
Yeah. Is he dead? Because, like, I'd like to see him fight Hawkeye again or something.
I think they just captured him, kind of, and, like, you're for jail, mister. So, I'm enjoying that series. Well, the one issue that has been released as of this recording, and, I can't wait to see more. And hopefully, maybe within the next, hopefully it lasts longer than 12 issues, and hopefully Clint will get his classic costume back eventually.
And hopefully he'll break up with Spider-Woman.
Yes, that too. Yes,
and
definitely.
he'll get together with Hellcat.
No.
What are you guys talking about? I want him to date Hellcat along with Spider-Woman and Mockingbird, and they can all have a big, wonderful orgy together. You guys are crazy. Like, don't limit yourselves.
That could work too, and throw in Black Widow and Moonstone too.
No,
there you
Black
go.
Widow belongs to Bucky. You're doing the same thing Bendis is trying to do. I won't stand for it.
I keep telling you, Bendis wants Hawkeye and Black Widow together. He keeps doing it.
He had them kiss in one of those issues of Avengers Assemble or whatever. But
so what happened with that? They kissed and then what?
Yeah, like they were fighting. I don't remember who they were fighting. Thanos or like I think it was a Zodiac actually. And, like, they were all beat up and stuff, and they were, like, bandaging each other's wounds and stuff, and then they were just, like, had a little moment with that.
Damn. They're like, you look sexy when I'm bandaging you.
Apparently.
Got into the moment. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then, Natasha was like, no, we can't do this. And Hawkeye was like, why not? We did it before. And
awesome.
that's all it was.
It's like, why not, baby?
Why not, baby? There's enough. You sound like the Hawkeye from like Avengers Assemble or something, like the web series. Like, bam! You gotta hit that shit, man. But yeah, so I look forward to the continuing adventures of Jeremy Renner.
Awesome. We wanted to update you on some new comics that we'd been reading. Yeah, so keep listening to Fanholes and, check us out on the blog spot. Send us emails at Gmail and all that good stuff. And until next time, this is Derek WC, signing off.
Mike Thunderwing.
Justin Grimlock.
Peace.